After an 8-month process to find the next leader of the United Synagogue, Rabbi Ephraim Mirvis will become the UK's next Chief Rabbi. He will replace Lord Jonathan Sacks, who will step down in September 2013. He is said to be extremely excited, and his sentiments are echoed by many within the Jewish community.
He's got a lot of charisma, he's a great speaker, and generally I like him. He's got big shoes to fill, because the current Chief Rabbi, I think, is very admirable in many respects. It's taken many months of deliberations and a special committee and a steering committee and a chairman of a steering committee. It's obviously been a difficult choice. There were many candidates, but I like him. He happens to occupy the pulpit of a synagogue, which is not far from me. And
I think it's fantastic news that one of our local community rabbis has received such an honour, and I'm sure he'll do a fantastic job for the whole community, just as he's done for us locally. And I've heard his sermons and I've met him, and he does seem very inspirational.
But I think it's a really, really interesting appointment. I mean, he's clearly created an incredibly successful synagogue and a synagogal model at Finchley United. And I think there's a couple of interesting things to me about how he's done that. One is he's tried to give space for different communities within his community to do their own thing. So I think in history, the United Synagogue, the Chief Rabbinate, in history, the Chief Rabbinate was very closed. And I think he's going to be a much more open Chief Rabbi, and I would certainly welcome that.
I think he's a man of the times, and I think he's a contemporary person. I think he's up to date in all the contemporary issues, and I believe that what you're alluding to is some of the issues like gay marriages, gay clergy, very similar to the issues which are concerning the Christian community in this country and in Europe. I think he'll be very alive to that, and I think he will know how to deal with it.
The leadership of Orthodoxy internationally is moving very, very rapidly towards the right, becoming much more conservative, much more closed in. I mean, I would say a little bit more small-minded and rejecting the modern world. So trying to hold a space for what I would understand as being modern Judaism or a modern Orthodoxy or a less closed-minded Orthodoxy is going to be a real battle for him, and I wish him well to fight it. One of the things that I would really love to see is that he really kind of works to understand that there are different kinds of Jews, many of whom will never be Orthodox, and that he finds effective ways to partner with the non-Orthodox Jewish movements like the Masorti movement, the conservative movement, like the Reform, like the liberal movements, and that he also kind of creates space for people who are outside of Judaism or observant Judaism at all, and can kind of recognize that there are different ways to be Jewish and that it doesn't always have to be one way.
I think it's wonderful news for the Orthodox community that Rabbi Mirvis is going to be their Chief Rabbi, and having read the front of the JC, it says the People's Rabbi, and I think that's lovely. But as a Reformed Jew, he isn't our Chief Rabbi. He's a representative of part of the Jewish community. We have a Rabbi Laura Janet Klausner, who is the head of the Reform movement, who essentially is, plays that role for our community.
Rabbi Mirvis has had an illustrious career. Previous posts include Chief Rabbi of Ireland. He joined the UK Rabbinate in 1992 and was appointed to the Chief Rabbi's Cabinet in 1996. Rabbi Mirvis will be the 11th Chief Rabbi of the United Hebrew Congregations of the Commonwealth. This is Celestina Ololode for JN1 in London.